We are live.
Oh, terrific. That's fun. Craig, folks, I guess it'll be cut out in the free episode. So go to the Patreon, patreon.com/blindmike. Go to blindmike.net if you want to see. Craig, I'm stunned that he brought something up to start the show, or I don't know what I would have done with it, but the chat says I'm overreacting to it. So maybe I am. I don't know.
I think we're both getting equally crushed. I shouldn't have brought it up, and overreaction mix.
It's not. I'm telling you, it's not an overreaction because I'm still in stunned disbelief. I think I'm reacting pretty well to it. The fact that I'm still talking, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it was like he was busting your balls, like joking. But anyway,
well, all right. We have a fun show for you today, folks.
Finger boys, am I right?
I'll pull myself out of this. That is. I was going to say that yesterday, Cullinane told me about this clip with Clemmer from the Brackets. Is that what it's called? The Barstool Show?
Bracket Boys, I think it is.
It's Bracket Boys.
Yeah, so I think
boys are all around.
Boys getting stuff everywhere.
Well, so Cullinane told me about it and then played the clip for me, and I just assumed it was something Kirk mentioned to him or something. But then when we brought it up on the show, Kirk had no interest in it. So then I had like content blue balls. I was like, I need to get this out.
You brought it up throughout the rest of the show. You're like, there's a drop. You need to.
I was. It's not even that good, but I need you to play it. I can't even explain to you why. I just need to get the poison out. You know?
Yeah. After hearing it, I understand.
So this is a clip from the Bracket. They're talking about surviving the apocalypse, and I don't know how ass sex gets brought up, but it does. And this first part was just funny to me because Clemmer it sounds very out of place. Like I was saying to Cullen in the car, it sounds like almost like he's digitally inserted into this room at times.
I was going to say, it's Francis, it's Nick.
It's like 11 people on this show.
It's KB, it's
Marty,
and then
Jack.
And then an almost 50-year-old guy.
Yeah. So let's play this for content. And this is really all just leading up to a drop that the only reason I even want to play it is so we can add it to the outro. But
yep, there's going to be 2 drops, I think, going to the outro. I forgot. I have to get Shattuck saying, "Can you kindly F off?"
Yes.
And then this.
And that needs to be in there. And then this.
Oh yeah, way better than getting a finger in your ass. I can sure tell.
Why would you?
And you sure tell us that?
Try.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've had it happen to me twice, finger in the ass, but it was with a woman doing it to me.
Well, that was a part I really liked is I've had it happen to me, which sounds like he's being accosted in the streets.
Whoops. Yeah. I can't get into that stuff, man. That's a little too far.
Oh no. If anyone goes near me, I'm shucking and jiving, moving out of the way.
Matt from my show welcomes it.
Yeah, so it's my own hang-ups, because I will say if I have like an itchy asshole and I, kind of get up there.
It's a top 10 feeling getting it.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
It's just the idea. It has to be a mental thing. You hear your dad calling you a pussy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, because when in those moments it does feel, but another person rooting around up there, I have no interest in.
Yeah, no.
But it just sounded funny that Chris goes, I had it happen to me twice.
If I was, it was a big whole incident.
Like, like he won the lottery.
Yeah. If I was to be like, all right, this is what's going to happen today, I'm going to have to shower and get right into it.
Right.
Because, no.
I've had it happen to me twice, finger in the ass, but it was with a woman doing it to me. What? Yeah.
I like the reaction, like, a woman?
That was so it was a little weird. They reacted like he said he dresses up like Nixon and runs naked through preschools.
I mean, this is the company that sells like ass-eating season shirts, right?
Yeah, I didn't understand the show. Like, oh my God, he just said he got a finger in the ass.
So separate occasions, 2 different women.
Separate occasions, 2 different women.
Did you ask for it, or they were both ask for it?
No, did not ask for it. Both times surprised.
Oh,
2 different women. One's in college, and then one's in my
phrasing as well. Surprised.
That seems like a thing you just don't surprise someone with.
Surprise!
Would it?
It's like, you guys shouldn't have. Come on.
Oh, did you get this for me? Now it's just gonna feel like I'm shitting all day.
So that got brought up, and then I think like Marty later in the show says he has kind of welcomed that. I'm not really. I forget exactly how it went down. But later in the show, they agree on something. Chris and Marty, and Chris has a little nickname. That is the only reason I'm playing any of this is because this phrase has been rattling around in my head for probably about 20 hours now.
We need the backstory for sure. Based off what we know about Warthog says, based off what we know about Craig's wiping habits, that finger is doing brown face.
Well, it matches its owner.
Also,
so.
if I was if I was Marty, would you ever bring your sex life up ever at this company?
Oh, true. That's an interesting point. Yeah,
because it worked so well for him last time.
Right. Yeah. What, Marty? You had a finger in the ass? Let's bully you for a month.
You can't go to Chicago now.
What are you, gay?
Like right now?
20s.
What? Huh. No. She's in college, right?
No, I was in college. She was in college as well.
I didn't even know they had co-ed universities.
By the way,
when you were.
Yeah, we were
How'd you
first.
meet? Very excited.
In this clip and just go to the drop, the next one. But I also like Tommy goes. Chris said it was in college, and Tommy goes, "She's in college now." Like, well, Chris has been married for several years, so that would imply she was in high school when this happened.
Yeah, it's probably Rhea too, right?
Well, we don't know.
You want to go to the next one? You said?
Yeah, let's just play the drop now. It's a little more than what the drop will be, but.
Oh, I have a drop ready for it. So
okay,
just give me 1 second here. Pull this up. Wait.
Yeah, so this is them bonding later in the show. They agree on something, and Chris is like, "I have the perfect nickname for us."
You know what? Yeah, they do the I forget what movie it is when they touch like the end of their fingers, like that's their secret handshake.
Yeah,
and
they're
then,
like Thunder Buddies or something.
Yeah, and then this happened.
I'm gonna go fourth.
deny.
Finger boys.
Finger boys.
Woo! Glamour, Fortress vs. Booze.
Yeah, I kept the part in where he stayed in character.
Yeah, booze. It was the quickest response I've ever seen.
I'm a booze man. I don't know if you've heard. Can I hear Finger Boys again? Just the isolated.
Finger boys.
Just the idea. I don't know what it is. Just the idea that two guys who their one bond is that they've both gotten a finger in the ass. And they unite and call themselves the Finger Boys. For some reason, that guy. I don't even know if this makes sense to anyone why I'm playing this. Like, it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't have to make a lick of sense. Just watch it.
Finger boys.
Finger Boys.
But the best part, I got the
experience. Is that Marty that he's doing that with?
Tommy.
Tommy. Okay.
Which makes it
hope. Well, nothing would please me more. Than Portnoy mandating that Tommy and Clemmer are now the Finger Boys, and they have to start a podcast together. They have to have branded merch.
They go to work with a Chinese finger trap on.
Finger Boys is their moniker now.
Finger Boys.
This is the first drop I've ever made with the video clip because the face he makes is so funny.
Finger Boys.
Have a brother in arms. All right, I think that brought me back.
How can it not?
You want to give out my mother's maiden name, or what other information you want to?
Haven't you actually done that?
What?
Haven't you actually? I thought you actually did that once. Maybe I'm. Oh
I don't
no.
think so.
Or partially doxed where your old house was.
Craig's like, here's where you can find it.
I don't remember.
We can make fun of it.
I don't remember where it was. You remember this?
Finger Boys.
I saw, by the way, I will probably get to it later, but the video of Shauna Rae getting carded.
Yes.
I was watching that show and I was like, why is she mad? Like, I can't get past it.
Well, it's all very weird because, I mean, well, the answer is it's fake.
It has to be, right?
I mean, they have the camera in there when they get in. So, yes, obviously the guy's in on it.
Right.
But it is interesting to think about like what she does day to day and how they would actually react in that situation.
I don't know. Living her life, like she seems overly into wanting to go boozing, probably because she's like, I know this is going to be a whole controversy. And she seems to welcome it.
Yeah, it would be a pain in the ass, but then it's like she's an adult. She's 22. You know what I mean? She's like a college-aged girl. If I was crazy that she would want to go out and drink.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if I was in that spot and I was like 3'2" and looked like an 8-year-old boy and someone carded me, I'd be like, I understand. I would have it around my neck. Like, yeah, here it is.
That's what you say. Never have imagining what it would be like to deal with once, but it's every day of her life. Like eventually it's like, Jesus Christ.
I also would be highly annoyed that it's happening all the time. But I also
like with people that, you know, don't know I'm blind and say something or whatever. It's like, oh Christ. But to them, it's like, it's the first time they're ever interacting with me. They have no fucking idea, you know?
Yeah. Someone new to the chat, I'm guessing from Who Are These Socials, is asking if the guy in the middle was special, which was Clemmer. Says, I don't know this show, but is the guy in the middle special?
Yes, he is a special guy. Yeah.
He's a special guy. I love him.
He's one of the finger boys. You don't know him?
Yeah, dude, you better watch out. The finger boys are going to come get you.
All right. Well, I guess let's play this Shauna Rae clip. Craig is deciding where we go today at all.
Well, anytime there's dead air, I'm like, oh, we can't go back there.
Yeah. So my tax returns, I'm sure, will be brought up at some point.
Yeah. Here's a. You just want the beginning of this played, I'm sure, right? Because it's a fucking 8-minute video.
Yeah. We'll see where we end.
It's like a sex toy shop.
This is the music I needed to get me back. This is fun.
You guys looking for anything specific?
We're here for a bachelorette party. So.
Gotcha.
So
it's gonna be.
Even the person she's with looks underage.
No problem.
This is how you know the guy's in on it, though. I mean, other than the camera being there. But, like, go back a second because he's like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, he doesn't
Hey, welcome to the sex toy shop.
Hey, get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah, it's not like, what's going on here?
Hello, how are you guys? You guys looking for anything specific?
Hey, sweetheart, looking for dildos, butt plugs. What do we want? Anal beads. What's your pleasure?
We have sex dolls the size of you. That'd be pretty weird.
I think I've heard. Maybe we talked about this last time she came up. Mark Normand or someone tried to articulate like the idea of having children sex dolls.
We have and talked about
you sell to pedophiles.
Yeah, we were talking because it would stop real kids. It's actually like a good idea, but weird to be the people that had to make them. I don't know
that it's a good idea because then it would also promote. Then you have a product that kind of promotes that, you know?
Yeah, that part's weird.
I think it would make people realize like, oh shit, I enjoy this.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
That's the great fear in my mind. Yeah.
But would it save kids or hurt them in the long run? That's the question.
That's the ultimate question. I don't know. But I think that's what Shauna Rae was put here for, to answer these types of questions.
Someone commented on the video and was like, if she started an OnlyFans, she'd make $1 billion a month. We would find out where every pedophile that has ever existed lives.
Yeah, it would be good.
And follow them and track them. And
it would work a hell of a lot better than like sex offenders having to like, you know, out themselves when they move to a new neighborhood.
Right. Have you ever done that?
Really narrow it down.
You ever done that? Gone on to like a sex offender registry and check your area?
Only when I lived in Westfield and it was rampant.
I did it recently and I was shocked. Especially if you go through the names, and I knew one of them.
So that doesn't surprise me.
It surprised the shit out of me.
He's in my mirror every day. So what I assume it has to be is a lot of like pissing in public and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
There's not just rapists all over the place, are there?
There are. A lot of it says like the degree or whatever the fuck they're
Oh, interesting.
So it'd be like, and it says why and like what they did. Some
What
was
degree
like,
was your best friend there?
not my, he was a guy I went to electrical school with who was middle-aged.
Okay. Craig doxing everyone today.
Fuck him. You can honestly find him. But it was like aggravated rape in the 80s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Aggravated. I like that. Like he's ticked off.
Yeah. He's not even enjoying it.
Come on. Let me get this over with.
Why are you wearing this?
All right. Let's see.
It's going to be over in that direction. No problem.
My older sister Tara is getting married, and we recently went bridesmaid dress shopping.
Where are your dildos?
Everything is too big. It's not just the boobs.
Can I wear my combat boots?
No.
Sorry.
While she's been planning the wedding, we've been planning the bachelorette party. So this afternoon, we're going shopping for some supplies.
What do you
A trip to Adventureland. I don't know if that was a national thing. That's what they had in my town.
Adventureland?
Yeah, it was like, do you ever have like Discovery Zone or any of those?
Is that like an indoor park?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Bonkers.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, it was wild.
Bonkers. That is a fun name.
Yeah.
It sounds like more of a clown school, though, or something.
It described every kid that was in there after all the cake and ice cream and indoor parks and shit. It was a fucking madhouse.
They were bonkers.
They were bonkers. Getting pussy at Fun World. That's right. I have fun. I have Fun World.
What?
I have Fun World near my house now. I recently.
You get pussy there?
No, there was a misconstrued story.
Well, fill us in, please.
There was really nothing much to it. Someone confused a story somebody else had and me going to Fun World with my kid for a birthday party. And thought we were talking about getting pussy at Fun World, if memory serves.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Craig is cruising bonkers
in Fun World for blocks.
I'm getting
Hey, you
married.
kids know where we could find a good time?
Yeah. Craig still hangs out there, hence him checking that list 2 times a day.
Hey, if you guys want to leave for a nightcap, I got plenty of orange soda back at the crib.
You guys like Tylenol?
Yeah.
To my fiance, Jesse. We're originally from Pittsburgh, so I thought Pittsburgh is the perfect place to celebrate me getting married. And
Her sister looks exactly like full-size Shauna Rae.
I just can't unpicture now Craig trying to like with tickets falling out of his pockets. Like, oh, I just have so many of these extra tickets. I don't know what to do with them.
Craig baits little girls with ring pops.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyone? I mean, you guys, I can't just give these tickets to you guys, but maybe if you, I don't know. Is there anything you could do for me, maybe?
You guys like bouncy balls? You know how many Tootsie Rolls I can buy with these tickets?
I like the idea of Craig getting rejected at the Fun World, too.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Yeah, I can't even close.
Banana ringtone.
Oh, an ad. Got hit with the ads.
Oh, no. We haven't had that ad in a while.
So, for some reason, I mean, you can make your conclusions. This video is not allowed to be ripped from YouTube.
Is that right?
And now that I'm saying it out loud, an 8-year-old looking girl in a sex toy shop makes sense.
Hey, they posted it.
That's true.
You know, if you have such morals, take it down. Don't let us watch it.
That's true.
You're complicit in this, YouTube.
Craig is the town-to-town puppy salesman I've been reading about.
Okay, I didn't even realize you kids would like this dog. You think he's cute?
Oh, you think this little golden retriever puppy's cute?
Who's at my house all the time if you want to come play with them.
All right, fellas, we're all thinking it. How big would that thing look in her hands?
That's been made before. Come on. Have a little class.
I made that joke.
Yeah, you have to hold it with your legs. That's weird. So grab the banana one.
Yeah. I'm extremely nervous
Hearing her
that
say,
Riley and Shauna.
grab the banana one with childlike glee is why this show should not be on the air.
Does that simultaneously stimulate the clitoris?
grab the banana one. Get this off television. Learning Channel, get back to your roots. Try and remember when this was a nugget of an idea and they said, hey, we're going to educate Americans on cable television. You know, there's all this smut out there on cable. But we're going to stand in the name of education. And at some point they lost their way and said, whatever, fucking MILFs, midgets, little girls, whatever you want.
Are gonna surprise me with some raunchy stuff at this bachelorette party. I do not want it to be gross. I don't want it to be raunchy.
Well,
Why don't we grab a pack of each confetti so that way she has to pick it out of the butt crack?
Suggesting little girl things.
Yeah.
Stop. What if we had it pop out of a dollhouse?
So on the screen right now is her grabbing glitter or something, and it's next to ring toss meant to throw around hard dicks.
It's outrageous that this is on.
This is insane.
We're probably just making the same jokes we did last time, but I feel like we're doing a public service showing people that this needs to be off TV. I'm not, you guys know I'm a very anti-cancel culture guy, but this is,
when you walk
gone too far.
When you walk into a sex shop with light up Skechers, it's a problem.
You want 2 bags of the little confetti?
Sure, that's more annoying.
Hello. Can I see some ID?
Yeah, this is fake as fuck. He let her come in, search a few aisles, and then ask for her card.
Well, you can look around, but you're not going to be able to purchase anything, young lady. Sure, yes, you can swallow the dildo if you'd like, but I'll be damned if you're going to pay for it.
You grab those rib condoms, I'm going to need some ID.
Do I need to take it out for you? Or do you need to scan
I'll take it out for you, actually. That's how that works here.
This is so gross. It gets grosser.
It does?
I just every week it just gets grosser, by the way.
Oh, I thought you meant this clip. You mean in general.
Yeah, in general. This is disgusting.
Yeah, when does it stop? I imagine they're just going to do this type of stuff a lot, right? Like she gets carded at a bar, she gets carded at a whatever.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the episode where that guy gets the shit kicked out of him for like holding her hand in public.
There'll definitely be, he's helping a disabled person.
He might actually honestly look like her dad.
He's helping a disabled adult. There will definitely be an episode where she goes to her aunt's kid's birthday party. You know what I mean? Like somewhere where there's a group of children. And it's like, oh, you're one of us, right? No, I'm not.
She gets in all the bounce houses she wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
That ID doesn't even look real. It's like vertical paper, and he just goes, okay.
I wonder the process she has to go through because, if you work at the DMV, you're like, no.
You must have to go with a birth certificate and a picture of you in 1993 and be like, see, I was around then.
I guess, yeah. I guess all her information would be on file, so if she has all of it, something stinks. Something's rotten here.
And it's not her unused box.
What? All right. Or used once Dan got a hold of it.
Oh, Dan, that motherfucker.
Yeah. Dan the man.
That's all my exes are best.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
Gotcha. My first thought was, is that a kid?
Does this kid have hickeys on his neck?
How insightful.
I think this kid has 5 hickeys on his neck.
Well, he brought her into the back room.
That's what I'm saying. And it's a very small hickey. It's like tiny mouth.
My first thought was that might be a child. Really?
So I waited 15 minutes.
No one stopped me, so.
A little shocked at first, but, I was surprised to say the least once I found out that she was an adult. Both of them were.
Apparently, some other customers in the store had the employee there come up to us and ask for our IDs. When people want to verify...
Oh, good. So that kid didn't see anything wrong with you walking through the door?
This guy is not exactly on the ball. He's like, well, whatever. Anything goes.
So a lot of times, like, I remember when we were in high school, one of my friends worked at CVS and got fired because someone came in and ordered a pack of cigarettes and he didn't card them. And that person worked for, I forget which division of whatever the hell, and he got fired for not carding every person that might be like under 40 or something like that.
This is the guy you want working if you plan on asking suspicious questions.
Correct.
Hey, you guys, you got a nice selection here, but do you have any knives or duct tape? This guy's like, I didn't notice anything, but a few of the customers complained.
Yeah, this store's going to get knocked over later tonight.
After the fourth person that came up to me, I was like, she does look like a child, I guess. Now that you mention it.
At my age, that pisses me off because most of the time it's not for the business. It's not for myself and my safety.
I was hot under the collar.
She's saying all this while having an oversized lolly.
I said, listen here, cunt. Why don't you mind your business?
She can't ride like anything at any amusement park.
Why don't you butt out, you rotten bitch?
Why don't you kindly F off?
She would be great. I mean, I guess any child, you could cast any child to do this, but I was going to say she'd be great in like a movie. Yeah. Playing a kid.
Yeah.
But
It's for your nosiness. I'm not looking at you and looking at what sex toys you're buying and making sure I'm checking your ID. Mind your damn business.
One thing that felt scripted. But
just the sound of her voice talking about it is terrible.
One thing she has no concern for or no awareness of is like, you should be thanking the people that are reporting you. Because those are the type of people, like if I'm in a sex shop and I see a kid, I'm just like, well, listen, they know better than me. I don't know. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
This is a good point. Roscoe says it's the female version of the Man Show boy.
But he was an actual child, was he not?
Wasn't it Andy Milonakis?
No.
No? Why did I think that?
I don't know. What's more hilarious is Craig sat through us doing an entire episode about the Man Show.
Well, no, I thought there was two different.
You learned the history of it.
No, I know. I thought there was two different ones. Oh, there was.
Look that up.
I will look that up.
Andy Milonakis
Man Show.
Man Show.
Let's see.
I gotta say, to both of I'll give Craig credit as well. Based on the start of the show today, I didn't think we'd get to Andy Milonakis being on the Man Show.
Like I said, it was an innocent mistake.
I understand it was. I probably overreacted. So I'll explain now that I'm calmed down. The guy's very nice, but at every live show, he's like, oh yeah, I used to work with Alba. And just in my mind, I'm like,
shut up.
Don't give people information.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. I will say.
So that annoys me, but I'm not like, guy means well, whatever. He's I can tell there's no ill intent, obviously. But I was annoyed by it, and then Craig starts the show with
sorry.
Hey, here's someone's my worst nightmare since this has started, honestly. I was like, you know what? At least it hasn't been brought up to me. At least it's not so bad that people are like looking into it.
I don't know. Did Kimmel produce the Andy Milonakis show? Maybe that's why I thought that.
There's no way that's why you thought that.
The Man Show. Boy.
There's no way you've examined the behind the scenes list of the Andy Milonakis show.
I knew they were.
You're like, that's what I was thinking.
I knew they were close.
Oh, geez, silly me. I know all the inner workings of the Andy Milonakis show, and I let that cloud my judgment.
Oh, this is going to bug the fuck out of me now. Andy Milonakis on the Man Show.
I thought his name was something not that far off from that. Look up the Man Show boy. What his real name was?
It was Aaron Hamill.
Okay, so not even close.
Andy,
Starts with an A, I
Andy
guess.
Aaron. Yeah, I have no idea. He's 47. Maybe it's just because he looked like the Man Show boy. I don't know.
You know who was like that in a much different way? Not like he didn't look like a child, obviously. But when I learned Daniel Tosh, like when Tosh.0 started, at that time he was like 40. I couldn't believe it.
Are you serious?
I thought he was like 25.
How old is that fucking guy?
He's in his like mid to late 40s, I think. Look up his age.
Daniel Tosh age. He's 47.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought
he's aged very well.
I thought he was my age.
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Joel McHale's 51. I don't know why that's related, but it was popped up with it.
That's also surprising. So that means he was in his 40s on Community?
Yeah, and The Soup. Can't forget that show. Remember that show?
Yeah, that's pretty surprising also. But now we're getting into like Paul Rudd looks really young for his age. Now we're just getting into like celebrities looking young. But Tosh was really surprising to me.
Yeah. Oh shit, my door's opening. I don't know what that is.
I like that we're looking at like a miracle of miracle's the wrong word, but like a 1 in 10 billion chance. And we're like, Daniel Tosh also looks pretty young. Looking at Shauna Rae, like it's the same thing.
Yeah, what would you do if it said like Daniel Tosh was like, he has like reverse Benjamin Button's disease? Do we continue this video?
No, I think we get the gist of it, right?
Yeah. I can only watch her handle weird things so much before I have to like pry my eyes off.
Oh, let's go to Zumac.
Yes.
Shall we?
Should I put the tweet up first?
Tweet out for what?
Him talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Pop that bad Larry on the screen while I go.
Yeah, so I've been injected into a big feud.
Yes, you have.
What am I hearing? Who goes there?
What'd you say?
I said, who am I hearing?
I was walking away to shut my door because it pried open. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
But yeah.
All kinds of wacky hijinks ensue at Midman Enterprises.
I'm at home today.
Oh.
That's why I was more concerned. I was like, who the fuck's that?
That sex offender.
Yeah.
Talking shit.
I heard. I'm a Patreon subscriber. But Chad Zumac.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Chad Zumac is a comedian. We talked about him last week. He has major beef with Carl, my partner on Who Are These Socials and host of Who Are These Podcasts. Him and Zumac have mad beef, so to speak. We talked about it last week. And he also has a problem with this guy, Aaron from Steel Toe. Like a YouTube, they do like a YouTube morning show and sometimes evening show. And I've talked to Aaron a couple times. He seems like a nice guy. I've seen a couple of his things. Like I saw some rant he did about like Kevin Brennan or something. I thought it was pretty good. So like we've messaged back and forth a little bit. Seems like a nice enough guy, but Chad hates him also. And so the reason Chad hates them is because they are in the same genre of podcasting, if you will, as us, of people who enjoy making fun of, I don't know, what would you call them? Lol cows?
Lol cows?
Is that a fair word?
I don't even know.
Do kids still use that? Oh, you never heard that?
No.
Oh, I'm very hip. But yeah, like in this world, same with our boy Royce Lopez and ROTC, people that like making fun of other shows, essentially. And it started with Red Bar. He's the first one that I know, but it's kind of become, sort of a genre of podcasting. And in my opinion, I've always compared it to the same way there's, political talk and sports talk and all this shit. Like, there are just people that like goofing on, the likes of Brendan Schaub and Tom Myers. So it's kind of become, if there's an audience for it, why not, I say, and I think Carl kind of thinks like that too. I'm sure there's stuff, like, I don't know, Carl's never said this to me, but maybe when we talk about Stuttering John, it annoys him because like that was kind of his thing and a lot of people piled on that. So like, I do get that. But Chad is very annoyed because these people weren't friends with him first, I guess. It seems like that's where his hang up is.
He was friends with them though, wasn't he?
No, he did WATP, but he was very bad and got thrown off of it, I guess.
And he's been on Anthony's show when he was with Artie. I was watching.
Yes. Yeah, he was friends with Anthony, I think, at some point. But what's interesting now, the reason we're talking about it today, is Chad, his rage for this, his hatred of this type of podcast has inspired him to start one.
Really?
So now he's just like in the game completely. And I find it very interesting because I'm wondering, like, it might work out for him. I don't really know. We'll talk about it. But here's where I come in. I tweeted out the podcast we did last week. And someone replied saying, he's like, Chad's impression of Carl actually was good, which I like. I like the idea of arguing with me about it. I'll be like, oh, you thought it was good? I guess I was wrong.
Whoops.
But then it was just that, that guy disagreed with my take on Chad's impression. And then Chad chimes in with this. I thought Craig was going to read it there, but...
Oh, sorry. I had it on the screen the whole time. I was like,
also an audio medium.
I was like, oh shit, which clip are we going to? He says, that dude Carl is a suck up. He's got to kiss his ass.
Wait, that's what he said? Read that again.
In response to you or on a post about you?
Yeah, read it again.
The dude is a Carl suck up.
There we go. Oh, there we go. That's what he said.
Oh, he's got to kiss his ass.
Yeah, so implying that I am a Carl suck-up, which, boy, I will say, since I've started doing a podcast with Carl, the fame and fortune that has been brought to me through sucking up to this man is I take off my gold and rubies for the show, but he has injected instant wealth, and that is all because I suck his dick so much.
He must love you.
So Chad's a guy that every time people get along, it seems like he doesn't have any like friends in the business anymore. He's kind of alienated himself and talked shit about enough people that no one really likes him. So it seems like he thinks any good relationship is ass kissing.
Well, yeah,
like if there's any two friends where one is at a different level than the other, it's like the lower one must be kissing the other one's ass.
Naturally.
So I did text Carl and say that it was an honor to be a mere torso away from the great Anthony Cumia.
Yeah.
And by the way, so that's what Carl thinks is like, I guess I'm kissing Carl's ass to get to Cumia or something. By the way, Chad does a new show called the Cumia Cucks, which we'll comment on in a minute.
He calls it either Cumia Cucks or Compound Cucks, depending on which point of the episode you're listening.
Oh, interesting. Well, it was a test episode.
That's true.
So yeah, I think he thinks like I'm trying to get to like we've talked about a lot how Cumia has gone down a real racist rabbit hole.
He's going
his fucking Twitter.
I don't want Bill Burr to hate me.
I don't know if tying my name to Cumia. That's the other thing. It's hilarious to think, and like I grew up loving the Opie and Anthony show and all that, and I still find Anthony very funny. But it's hilarious for Chad to think tying your name to Anthony Cumia will lead to instant success in the entertainment business.
Get you to like, I guess, some sort of level, but not what it...
I mean, I'm sure it definitely has helped Carl grow his audience and stuff. But it's just hilarious, this idea that Chad has that like the only reason people would like doing shows with Anthony is because it will bring them instant fame and fortune.
Yeah, I don't know. Not anymore. Maybe once upon a time. No one.
Yeah, I mean, even then, it's like you still have to build yourself. Like the comedians that Opie and Anthony had on, it was great promotion, but you still had to build yourself up on your own merits.
Right. Exactly.
You couldn't just do some dog shit show. There were plenty of comedians that got trashed on there. It probably worked against Rich Voss, honestly, in some form or fashion.
Cumia is more radioactive than the water in Ohio.
He was tweeting the other day.
Oh my God, dude.
What's the one? Did I send you one of them?
No.
It got sent to me a bunch.
There was so many. Me too. I got a whole bunch. I talked to Mittman about it. I was like,
can we pull that one up? Will you have it at the ready, or is it too far gone?
Let me check my messages and see.
Yeah, see if you can find it. There was one he tweeted out, and maybe I just don't know the context. But Cumia tweeted just like, I hate
I got it.
MFN.
I got it.
All right. Craig, it'll sound more natural coming out of Craig's mouth.
I know. I see the plan now. Makes sense. Let me just pull it up here. I'm going to put it on the screen so people know these are not my thoughts, and I'm reading from Anthony Cumia.
Allegedly.
He just randomly tweeted out, I wish I could post.
Did you look for like context or anything? It didn't seem like there were any prior tweets connected to this.
Nope. He just keeps he's a big fan of posting videos of certain people attacking certain people.
Yeah.
Or themselves.
Let's put it this way, Jerry's probably like, the guy's got a point.
I don't know about that. But Cumia said, I wish I could post my feelings in plain English, but I can't. I hope you can understand what I'm posting. I hate MFNs.
Yeah.
The first of those three letters are motherfucking, and the last one is a terrible slur.
Yes. Whatever it means in your mind is fine.
And then you're like, well, you don't mean what I think you mean. And he says, yes, I fucking hate them. They've destroyed our country. We are living a nightmare with them being involved in our society.
That's one where it's like, as a fan of his, that is where I want to do Joe DeRosa versus Anthony episode from that whole saga.
Revisionist history. That thing's got to turn around.
That, I like at the time, Joe got the shit kicked out of him for saying, he's like, how do I explain to my black friends that I am friends with you?
My guess is he would do this unedited, but off mic. Right?
What do you mean?
Like, I'm guessing Cumia in private might talk like this. So that's
no, you know what? It's funny. So my guess is the opposite, actually. Because when I listen to Anthony, even still when I hear clips of Anthony, he sounds like old Anthony. I don't listen to his entire shows, so I don't know how heavy the race stuff is. But like, he seems like it's get off Twitter because there's no context. I think
we're trying.
I hope.
We're trying.
I guess a better way to phrase it is I hope.
Yeah.
What he's doing is going for some Chris Rock type of bit. You know what I mean? Like black people versus.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I hate this particular segment.
Yeah. Yep. But lately his tweets have been coming across like as a whole.
Yeah, it's just weird. And so anyways, my point was like DeRosa.
You're probably actually right.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't think he's some crazy fucking.
Well,
but it's hard to argue that anymore.
I want to defend him so bad, but I can't. And now I'm just like, yeah, you know what, Bill Burr? My apologies for ever wondering why.
Watch, I'm making fun of. Like, I'm doing this to point out to Chad that not everyone that makes fun of him is just a Cumia kiss ass. And watch, I get a text. Who are these socials is done, just so you know. Like, oh, come on. But yeah, DeRosa like said, how do I tell my black friends or whatever? And everyone made fun of him for that because it sounds ridiculous. It's my black, like they're not children. Like have an adult conversation with them. But then it's like, if someone said to me like, you're a fan of this guy, I'd be like, yeah, but you don't get it. It's hard to tell someone they don't get that, you know?
Right. It's a lot.
Anyways, have I proven myself now? Have I earned my stripes as a non-cuck?
I mean, he said one of the most hateful things in tweet, and we're like, listen, this is what he means. He doesn't mean what you think it is.
Well, it's interesting just because it's like, I think part of the, wanting to justify that and like or rationalize it is like, we listened to this guy forever. When he got fired, we all said like, oh, he's not a racist. You misunderstand him. And then he's done everything to make us feel like assholes for saying that, Sorry I ever defended him. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. He makes it tough to defend him. And, and maybe he doesn't give a fuck about that. Like, maybe he's trying to lose the fans that wouldn't be on board with that stuff. And I would say mission accomplished, probably,
The fence riders are now like, oh, no, I'm not going to be up here.
Yeah, it's very weird. But then, like I said, when you look at his Twitter, you think he's in this nonstop rage. And then when you listen to him, when he is on with Carl, he sounds like regular old Anthony.
Honestly, not Anthony. Anthony. I meant to say honestly, and that's what came out of my mouth.
Yeah, we got it.
If you listen to his show, he doesn't get into that almost ever.
That's what I'm saying, is I don't listen enough to know if that's true.
I haven't in a while, so maybe it's changed, but
yeah, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying is like, just get off Twitter because you're not articulate. Well, that's the weird thing too, is he's very articulate on air.
Extremely.
But he's not going to get his point across on Twitter, I don't think.
No.
Or he is very good at it, and I'm making excuses for him that don't need to be made.
This is funny to watch. You're going to be on the next episode of this show.
I'm going to be a Cumia cuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, maybe.
Look at this cuck talking about how racist the guy is.
Yeah, I'm reading the tweet, and you're like, now, wait a minute.
Well, anyways, back to Chad. So, Chad is declaring war on these people, and I say, I got to defend my guys. If I'm one of these cucks, I got to defend them. Although the cucks, here's where I always I misstep. Because now, I'm shitting on Chad, but also the cucks probably won't have me either. The Cumia cucks.
We're back on the fence.
Yeah. I'm a man without a country.
Someone pick me, please. Well, it seems like Zumac might pick you, take you under his wing.
Well, that's what I want, yeah. Terrific.
You'll be able to text some pretty cool people, as we'll find out later.
Oh, we sure will. The text list is really a wide-spanning group. I can't wait to get that clip, actually. I forgot about that one.
I know.
Well, let's go in order. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So this is him announcing his new program, I think, right?
Yep.
And basically what this show is we showcase the Cumia dick riders. We showcase the Cumia cucks. We showcase the pandering, loser, bottom feeder podcast that Cumia surrounds himself with. The suck-ups, the douchebags, everyone that's on Cumia's allowance. We will showcase these no talents each and every week. I will have a co-host.
So what Chad is saying, if I can interpret for Mr. Zumac there, is he's saying, I hate these shows so much. These shows that go after people that they don't know and make fun of them for, trying to do their own thing and do comedy and podcasting. These guys, Carl and Aaron, that don't know the people they're making fun of. I hate that. I hate that they do that. So I've decided to do a show where I make fun of guys that I don't know and have never met for being successful podcasters. Like, it's unquestionable. I don't know what Aaron does. I don't know if he has a Patreon or whatever. I don't know his numbers or anything, but I know Carl is like significantly more successful than Chad has ever been. And Chad's trying to paint this thing like, you're coming at the king, Carl. You best not miss.
Don't forget, 20,000.
What's next?
Him going off about how nobody knows this person.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing. So this is him talking about Aaron. He's like, nobody knows you, nobody knows you, nobody knows you. And it's like, well, you're talking about him, Chad. Hopefully your audience does, right?
And by the way, let me point out, he knows nobody. None of these people he talks about knows who he is. The one, Kevin and I know who you are now, but all the other people like Brendan, Chris, everybody, Louie, Joe Rogan, none of them know
figure out who Chris is. Oh, Chris D'Elia, maybe.
Why is he referring to like Joe Rogan and stuff? Like he's insinuating like he's buddies with them.
Yeah, you guys know. And listen, we make fun of Schaub and D'Elia plenty. But when you think successful comedians, Schaub, sure. Or at least podcasters, whatever. Schaub, D'Elia, absolutely. D'Elia was here, played the Wang Theater. When Rogan and Kreischer come to town, they play the fucking Garden. Can't deny their success. And Chad's like, you know, Rogan, Kreischer, me.
we've been talking.
It'd be like if I was like, listen, guys, if you're going to make some fun of someone, that's fine. Just don't let it be Tim Dillon, Mark Maron, myself, you know, the big wigs of podcasting.
My Aldi bit crushed.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chad. Tell us why we shouldn't go with the elite.
Brendan, Chris, everybody, Louie, Joe Rogan, none of them know who you are. None of them know who you are. And,
hold on, is Aaron saying that? Is Aaron pretending? It seems to me, I've not heard Aaron say he knows Rogan or anything.
Yeah.
It seems to me like the only one pretending to know these people is Chad Zumac.
I'm also pretty positive if he knew them and was like friendly with them, he wouldn't do this show about them.
It makes me feel like if Joe Rogan saw this clip and he was like, oh, there's a show that makes fun of me, whatever. Oh, wait, why is Chad Zumac saying we're friends? I think that would be a much larger issue. I don't think Rogan minds getting trashed on Aaron's Steel Toe morning show. I think we'd have a bigger, you know, the classic Rogan confused face. The what that Shane got would be dropped.
What?
When he's like, Zumac thinks we're like buddies.
You talk about these people and like you're part of us. Like you're like we're all, you know, us. We're all in this together. Us. We're all like equal.
Us.
Part of us.
So if you just did comedy, you're in that group. Like Kreischer just played an arena at the Super Bowl and had NFL player, like a massive group of NFL players. Drake was there.
No shit. Really?
Drake went to see Bert Kreischer.
Holy fuck. That's actually impressive.
And Chad's like, you know, Kreischer, me. I played in front of fucking Mr. Magenta and 7 other people in Florida.
People performing in Florida this weekend. Dave Chappelle, Brian Regan, myself.
Chad, so here's the other thing about Chad. Like, I kind of want to like him. You know, so here's the interesting thing I thought about Chad is I noticed that this video of his, the first episode of the Cumia Cucks, has far and away the most views on his YouTube. Not surprising. And I was kind of like, you know what? Every fan base has this. I'm on Reddit a lot now for who are these socials. And I've learned, I used to think like, oh, this Reddit hates the show. That's weird. Or that Reddit hates the show. How strange. I've now learned every Reddit hates the show that they once liked.
Correct.
And it's because you get to a certain point of success that people decide to turn on you. That's just how it goes. And it's a small group of people, but they're very vocal on Reddit. Like literally, I'll go to Tim Dillon's Reddit and they'll be celebrating monthly. They celebrate because the numbers have gone down. Like, yeah, he's making less money this month. They get like excited about it. And so like, that's what happens with fan bases. So I was like, you know what? There's a chance if Chad plays this right, that a few people on like Reddit and shit will support Chad and be like, yeah, fuck Carl, fuck Aaron, fuck Cumia, whatever. So I was like, you know what? He might have something. And then the more I listened to this episode, I realized, oh, he's not the guy for the job. And it's for one simple reason. He never laughs. He is the most serious comedian I've ever heard in my entire life. Nothing is a joke with him.
Zumac?
Yeah.
You didn't hear him laugh during his Carl impression?
Well, like, Craig, he was in character.
That's
Respect
true.
the man. He's a thespian. Respect his character work.
I forgot.
Yes, that was Carl laughing. He was mocking. He heard a man laughing, and his instinct was to mock it.
I read books.
And like,
hey, I'm Carl. I'm from Rochester. Is he in the room?
Metallica's pretty good. I'm Carl.
Part of us, like like we're all, we're all in this together. We're all like equals. No one knows.
I mean, Craig. He sounds so dumb. I'm so furious at this guy. Chad, the most infuriating thing to comedians would be hearing you say us. Especially the level of comedian. You have no idea what level of comic you're on. Like, Kevin Brennan is the only person who hasn't written you off, and he has you on the show as like a punching bag, which is fine. I'm certainly not above that role, but I'm also smart enough not to put myself in some elite category. It would honestly be like when Kirk was doing a bunch of shows at the Super Bowl. If I was like, yeah, like he's out there with my friends, Dave Portnoy and Big Cat, my guys.
Yeah. You talked to Dice on the phone once, so like, you guys are boys.
That's true. He was insulted by whatever question I asked him.
I forget what it was, but it was very funny.
Well, we got to get out of here. The funny thing about that, too, is he didn't have to go.
No.
He just thought about having to go because I asked that question.
That question was poor. I wish I remembered what it was.
I can't remember. I think I asked him about his podcast or something.
Shut up, you hoo.
You talk about these people, and like, you're part of us. Like, you're like, we're all, we're all in this together. We're all like,
hold on. No, actually, from what I've seen of Aaron doing is he's making fun of podcasters.
Right.
He's literally trashing them. So this idea that he's trying to be one of them, it isn't true. You think, put it this way. If you've listened to this program enough, do you think anything I've said about Brendan Schaub is in hopes that one day he hears me and invites me into his inner circle?
And then turns on me and beats the shit out of me?
I've taken the wrong approach, I would say.
That would be so funny if out of all the podcasts that shit on Brendan Schaub or something, he hears you and just, it hurts the most, so he tries to become friends with you.
Hey, man. Why?
No, he tries to win you over. Like, hey, dude, you want to
why?
I want to go to the park or something?
And I would cave in a second.
Oh, me too. I mean, you have no...
guys, I gotta say, I think here's what I would do. Here would be my strategy. I wouldn't abandon everything I've said about Schaub. I'd go, you know what? Egg on my face. I know we made fun of him a lot. He's gotten a lot funnier.
I would have went down the route being like, he's actually a pretty awesome guy.
Oh, definitely. I would definitely take that, but I would also take the approach of like, hey, I was never wrong. I've always been right about him. He wasn't funny then, and now that I'm friends with him, he's very funny.
I can't wait for his next special to come out and be like, that's what we saw in Boston that day.
His Raytheon bit made it. That's surprising.
Boston. Oh yeah, he's in New York, and he's like, yeah, I named my son after Brooklyn. I love this place.
I know his kid's name is actually Boston.
I know. That's why I was getting confused with how he didn't know anything about anything around here.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, movies about bank robberies like The Departed.
We're all in this together. We're all like equals. No one knows who you are, dude. I texted 6 broadcasters yesterday. Have you ever heard this?
Okay, hold on a second. Again, to go back to my point, because I know if Chad were to listen to this, he would say, fuck you, dude. You don't know me and Rogan's relationship. I do know. I've never met Joe Rogan. But I do know that an infuriating text from someone like Chad Zumac would be, excuse me, Mr. Rogan, do you know Aaron from Steel Toe? Because he's really been razzing me.
He's really been getting under my skin. I want to know.
I texted 6 he says broadcasters too. Like, oh, these are real pros. I didn't realize.
So that means they're in radio, and not podcasting.
Oh, excuse me, doctor. So Chad texted 6 broadcasters. Let's hear what he said.
Steel Toe Morning Show. Names you know, none of them heard of you. Nobody knows you. I texted Jim Norton. Doesn't know you. I texted Jim Brewer. Nobody knows you.
By the way, these people aren't shitting on Aaron.
No.
He texted, it's essentially Chad's story is he texted Jim Norton and said, hey, do you know Aaron from Steel Toe? And Norton either didn't reply, which is most likely, or was like, no. Okay.
I like that
What's your point?
He texted 6 people. He brought up Jim Brewer and Jim Norton. The rest of them were like, who's this?
And a multitude of others.
Who is this?
But like that's the thing is like, listen, he probably has Rogan's number somehow. But like the idea, and even if Rogan responded, the idea of these people not knowing who Aaron is, what does that mean? He's not successful?
So let me ask you a question.
I think Aaron gets more views on his YouTube videos than Chad does.
Let me ask you a question. You have Joe Rogan's number, right? You don't talk to him hardly ever. Let's pretend he's talked to him in the past.
Yeah.
How much are you sweating over that send button, making sure that thing's perfect?
I can tell you exactly how much. Because there was a moment today where I thought to myself, am I going to have to text Shane Gillis and clear something up?
Oh, yeah.
Am I going to have to be like, Shane, that wasn't me. He's lying.
He's lying.
It was nice. I was listening to Gillis was at the Super Bowl with like Kreischer and them.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking on his latest podcast. He was talking about meeting a bunch of different athletes and shit. And he talked about this interaction with, I think it was like Micah Hyde or someone. And he went up to them and he goes, hey, I went to Trinity High School, which is like a high school that he went to, I guess.
Yeah.
And Micah Hyde was like, okay. And Shane was like, all right, see you later.
Well, see ya.
And it was nice to listen to it because I was like, that's every time I've interacted with him.
He's like, okay, cool.
Actually, he's much nicer than that. And I just pretend he acts. I'm like, I'm not going to bother you. He's like, you're not bothering me, man.
I always feel like I'm bothering people. Even if I'm sitting quietly in a room, I'm like, they hate that I'm here.
Well, it's nice that you've picked up on it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the end of the clip. Do you want me to play the last bit of it again?
Yeah, please. Because I love that he says, I texted 6 broadcasters. I texted Tom Brokaw, Anderson Cooper. Who the fuck do you think he's texting? He's texting 6 people with podcasts.
Pulling this together. We're all like equals. No one knows who you are, dude. I texted 6 broadcasters yesterday. Have you ever heard of the Steel Toe Morning Show? Names you know, none of them heard of you. Nobody knows you. I texted Jim Norton. Doesn't know you. I texted Jim Brewer. Nobody knows you.
I like how he goes, I texted Jim Norton. Doesn't know you. I texted Jim Brewer. No one knows you.
Well, it remains to be seen, but I assure you.
I did see the bubbles pop up like he was responding for a second.
Yeah, I don't have the hard evidence, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't know who you are. But now here's the thing, and where Chad is creating a straw man argument. Is Aaron or Carl out there? Well, Jim Norton's been on Carl's show. Is Aaron out there claiming, oh, me and Jim Norton are best friends? It's like the only one doing that. This is more projection. The only one doing that is Chad.
I don't watch Steel Toe. So is there a chance that while they're talking, they're like, they're going to be so mad when they hear this?
Maybe.
And if that's true, I'm Team Zumac.
Maybe, but I don't know that. That's certainly possible, but I don't know. Well, I know. I mean, so here's the reason he made the list of Cumia Cucks is he's had Anthony on. And I guess it's kind of talked like that since, like, him and Anthony are pals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what inspired Zumac to be like, you don't even know him. And it's like, well, they certainly know each other. They spoke for an hour. You know? Like the degree of which they know each other, I don't know. We can decipher that in court, but
this is the last clip.
All right. I don't remember what this one is, but
this is my favorite one.
Oh, okay. Good.
The text messages I have with Levy, we know the show's clicking right now. We're killing it right now. Everyone's talking. Every comic that you talk about is talking about our show. The Mark Normans, everybody. They're all talking about our show. They're not talking about you. They're not.
It's hilarious to me. And then Mark Norman's gotten very popular. It's hilarious that his only is the Mark Normans.
Is that just people that do like Mark Norman style bits?
It's Joe List. It's
there's some open micer that kind of sounds like Norman.
It's first of all, I've listened to a lot of Norman's content. I haven't heard him plugging sit down Zumac very often.
Is that what his show
is? It's weird when it's even weird because when he's with mutual friends like Joe Rogan and Bert Kreischer, I haven't heard him plug. Hey, you know the guy we both love and respect, Chad Zumac? It's weird that I haven't heard that conversation anywhere. I haven't listened enough, I guess.
Yeah, next time he's on Rogan, be like, yeah, you know what? Good buddy of ours.
Yeah, Zumac's great. You should have him on.
Gay. Comedy. That was the whole clip. I'm going to play it again, though, because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
The text messages I have with Levy, we know the show's clicking right now. We're killing it right now. Everyone's talking. Every comic that you talk about is talking about our show. The Mark Normans, everybody. They're all talking about our show. They're not talking about you. They're not.
I don't know Mark Norman at all. I can't imagine he's going to, if he sees this clip, he's going to be like, good.
He doesn't strike me, and I don't know him the way, I know him and Chad are best friends. I don't know him at all. But the little I know him from just listening to him on podcasts, he doesn't strike me as a guy that's walking around New York City going, you hear about Zumac? This Zumac kid's got it.
And if he's talking about your show, it's probably not good.
That's the other thing, is like if comedians are talking about a podcast, they're usually not promoting it.
Yeah, if it gets past, if you listen to this, yeah. If it ends there, good. But if they...
That's the other thing, is because Norman doesn't seem to be talking about it on podcasts. So if he's talking about it off of podcasts...
Hey, I heard you...
Great news.
Yeah, hey, Mark, I heard you were talking about our show. Yeah, it was great.
Who told you?
Please let me know. I got to know who I can't trust. Zumac is hilarious. You guys are crazy.
Is that right? Who's that?
Professor Snopes.
I wonder if that's true. Well, if Snopes is saying it, apparently it's been vetted.
That's very true.
Are you being serious, Professor?
I don't have an opinion either way yet.
Well, so here's what I said is like, I was watching this thinking like Chad might be tapping into something here. You know, the old, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Cumia Cucks.
Yeah. Where people have, because there will be a group of people that even if it's not today, will turn on the shows they like, as you know.
Mike, have you just gotten addicted to super chats and you want to start a new show again?
What do you mean?
You want to team up with Chad? I'm getting all the super chats.
It didn't seem like a lot of super chats were coming in, but
I didn't see any. No, it was the first one though.
Yeah, so I find it interesting. We'll monitor this from afar because I am a Carl ass kisser apparently.
Naturally,
which is why I stuck up for Aaron, I guess. It's all very confusing.
I'm confused. I am confused. But you know what's not confusing?
What's that?
Finger boys.
I don't agree with that, actually. It is.
It's highly confusing. I was just trying to figure out a way to play that again.
Oh, I should say, by the way, blindmike.net is where you can go for all these hijinks live, as well as early episodes, bonus episodes, bunch of bonus episodes of Why Are You Laughing? If you're listening to this for free, the Opie versus Jim episode of Why Are You Laughing will be exclusively on Patreon. So check that out. And the Mort Saul episode will be going up. People seem to enjoy that so far, so that's good. Brian Regan, I Walked on the Moon. The next, I think I already sent you, I believe. I think I'm finished with the prep for Charlie Sheen leaving 2.5 Men.
Oh, I did not get that yet.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I hope I didn't delete the email.
Did you send it today?
You know what? I didn't send it. I saved it in case there was more work I wanted to do.
Okay, I was like, I definitely don't have that.
That's the worst thing is like, I've accidentally deleted shit like for the real inside baseball here. I'll send Craig like a prep sheet with all the links and timestamps and shit that I want. And sometimes I'll accidentally backspace too far and delete like 3 links.
Oh, no.
And everything's been ruined.
Oh, no. So then you have
it very rarely happens, but when it does, it is a real...
So then you have to listen to the whole episode again.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Well, it's usually not episode. Usually it's like little clips, like
dude,
8-minute interviews.
If that happened during the Opie and Jim thing and you were dissecting a 7-hour video, I would...
been tedious.
I would quit. I'd be like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I can't do that again.
But yeah, so that'll be a fun one because that's a very interesting. If you don't remember that, like 12 years ago, it's a fun one to go back and revisit.
Definitely.
All right, what kind of hijinks are happening on Very Good Show these days? A Mikeless world. How have you managed?
It's been good. Spirits are up. We're laughing. We opened the phone lines last week and had people call in and say horrible things about Mike. I thought they liked Mike. It turns out they don't.
Craig always with the great instincts.
Yeah.
Really has his finger on the pulse, this guy.
But it was funny. I had to obviously edit out a couple things that were said.
Really?
Line crossings, you know?
Sure.
But it's good. I think the show is more upbeat, I'd say.
Oh, good.
There's not like someone that hears a joke and then just pouts in the corner for 15 minutes.
Well, verygoodshow.org.
Yeah, come say hi.
Is where you can find that.
Yeah.
And I'm all better now. We made our journey to the end of the episode.
Yeah, looking back, that was dumb of me. But
yeah, but like, I don't know. It wasn't even really your fault. I should have just brushed over it and been like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've been like, oh.
I was like, what the fuck?
Like I said, too, I thought it was a joke. The whole thing was a joke to begin with. Boy, was I wrong.
Also, my reaction made it seem worse because it made it seem like there's something sinister. Like, he's a nice guy, so I don't mean to come across that way. He's a very nice guy. He means well.
Box Eating Dad said to tell Mike to have a nice weekend for me.
Thank you. Is that sarcastic? I can't tell.
I can never tell.
Oh, the other Mike, maybe.
No, you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Professor Snopes, I think, was joking and is now asking anyone to fight. That's nice.
Oh.
Mike just telling all the McFuss Daddy said, Mike just telling all the pre-Quincy secrets, not cool. That's usually where we lay out what we're going to do for Fuss.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, this is promoting. This is after you guys get the juicy details.
Yeah, you already know, dude. You already know.
Yeah, this is just promotion.
You can tell people, I already knew everything they just said.
Yeah, I knew weeks ago.
Isn't that neat?
They'd be doing a Charlie Sheen episode. What else? Oh, the other thing I wanted to... We don't have to play it because it wasn't that... So, I got a message from someone right before the show. I alluded to this earlier. And they were like, Mike... I couldn't believe it.
Are you sitting down?
Are you sitting down? Shawn Guardini is ripping into you on Matt and Shane's Patreon.
Dude.
I was like, what?
I did not take this news when you texted me. Well,
I've never interacted with the guy in my life. So I was like, why? And I'll tell you where it struck me. If you can, try and get into my shoes for a moment, my insecurity pajamas, and try them on and wear them for a moment. So I'm coming from a place of like, everyone that I've ever respected, that I've ended up meeting, eventually hates me. And the only guy that so far that's not true with would be my good pal Shane Gillis. And then someone messaged me and said, hey, Guardini, their producer, who's a funny comic, I think. I've seen clips of him that I found very funny. But he's their producer, and they're like, he's really ripping into you on the Patreon.
And I love the guard dog. So when you text me like, get this sound, I went, no.
But then, so I sent Craig to find it, and he did. And it turns out it was the blind Mike from Gas Digital, gay blind Mike, the other blind Mike.
Yeah, who was blind Mike until they realized that you're OG blind Mike. So then they started calling him gay blind Mike.
Here's my problem. That hasn't stuck enough.
Nope.
Because now they're talking about this asshole.
And you're getting...
people think it's me.
I do want to play the beginning because that Gaz nugget is hilarious.
Yeah, okay, so the guy's like, the guy told me, anyway, he was a very nice guy. I told him, hey, he apologized, and I was like, dude, I appreciate having a pit bull out there. This guy was ready to sound off. So I was like, I do appreciate it. But it was funny because he goes, yeah, I was listening, and they said blind Mike from Gaz. Which would be a bizarre way to introduce me. But he thought they meant like, my former supervisor and multimillionaire, Paul Gilzinski.
As of today, Friday.
Sales guy of Barstool Sports. Yes, officially.
Kevin.
Multi-millionaire.
KFC has like 9 million in the bank now.
Oh, I would think easily.
I think they said that they were... Dave after churn and sale rich, which was like I think between 7 and like 11 million. No one.
I always heard 12 to 15.
Oh, even better for them.
But that's who knows? That could be bullshit. I have no idea.
Good for him.
Oh yeah. So he's like, yeah, they know they. It's funny because in this guy's mind, he's like, boy, they really did their research. They know he's a Gaz guy.
Shit, they really hate me.
Really inebriated, and then
blind Mike from Gas?
Yeah.
Him and he was telling him.
That's what it sounds like.
Blind Mike from Gas. I'm one of Gaz's soldiers.
He's from Gas.
Yeah, so crisis averted. I was not being besmirched, but it is frustrating. I'll tell you, here's the real bad problem, is that if people are like, I hear a lot of people talking about this asshole blind Mike. Let me Google him. I'm the blind Mike that comes up, and then everything they'll see of me is like, oh yeah, he is an asshole.
He's a pussy?
There's no redeeming things about me on the internet.
Yeah, I guess gay blind Mike is notoriously like a giant pussy from what everyone says.
I don't know much about him, but here's the thing. A lot of the things they make fun of him for, vision-wise, I'm like, oh yeah, I relate. We're brothers.
That might be me.
Yeah. It could be me. Maybe they are talking about me.
Well, this ends up getting, the guard dog ends up going at him pretty hard. I'm like, thank God this isn't about you. Holy shit.
That was the hilarious thing, is imagining this guy listening to it, thinking like, wow, they hate him.
I had no idea that blind Mike was from Mechanicsburg.
Yeah. The reference where he's from, I was like, boy, this guy, I love him because he's a soldier out there, but he doesn't know much about me.
Should we continue?
But shout out to that guy. Thank you for being alert. And despite us, kind of jabbing at you here, I will say, keep up the vigilance. And that goes for everyone.
The blind Mike radar is stronger than the United States of America's radar.
Stay alert, folks. Keep your head in a swivel.
Yes.
All right, it's been a roller coaster.
What a day.
Craig, I apologize to you for my
I apologize to you for bringing it up anyway.
I'm glad we hashed this out.
It's been nice.
All right, folks.
And we have a mean transition.
Sappers clear the way. Airborne all the way. If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always, rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it.
Piss on it. All right.
Stop
My belly hurts. What's that, sir?